Yes.
Okay. Yes, I see the numbers. Okay. So where we get it wrong is when we try to tell it descriptively, like all through the whole thing, rather than cut off at the hook and then leave the aftermath for that. Okay, so tell us things like, what's the name of the organization?
The name of the organization is Viva Z Marketing.
How do you spell that?
VIVAZ.
Okay, and it's located?
In James Island, South Carolina.
What do they do?
They're marketing.
James Island's not Charleston?
There's a town of James Island, and then there's Charleston.
Oh, they're in the town of James Island.
Yes.
On James Island.
Yes.
Okay.
So there's 2 zip codes, and there's 2.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they are kind of a full-fledged marketing agency. They design websites. They do content, social media marketing.
Okay.
They do all kinds of graphic design needs.
Oh yeah, this is going to be really like all AI kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I
then
mean,
they
particularly this job. Yeah. Okay.
And then they do strategy oversight. So one of our clients was a restaurant here in Charleston with 7 different locations.
Okay.
And he was just kind of, he was a guy who liked to cook shrimp and started a restaurant, and it's just kind of morphed. But he knows nothing about like running the website, tracking the numbers, and so we were doing marketing analytics for him, like showing him, okay, these are better ways to find profit margin. This is more of like how we want to spend and promote your restaurant.
Right.
Things of that nature.
Okay.
So we would do that as well.
Gotcha. So this organization, who is the protagonist here that has to make the decision when they get to the end?
Vicky, she's the owner.
Vicky is the owner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and how long has Vicky been doing this?
3 years.
3 years, so she's fairly new.
Yes.
But she's realizing that the old methods are being displaced by the newer AI methods, or it can be such an accelerator, or how would she explain this?
She's been in the industry for 25 years. 3 years ago, she branched off and started her own business. And she's definitely what we would consider a Zoomer when it comes to AI. She loves it. She's trying to incorporate it. She sees the potential there.
I need to push that. Ben's loud. Okay, go ahead.
And so she gravitates towards it. She sees the capabilities of it. But when she branched off 3 years ago, she brought some of the people with her that she had been working with.
What do you mean branched off 3 years ago?
Started her own business 3 years ago.
Okay, so she has a history in this business.
Yes.
How long she's done that before?
25 years.
Tell me about that, because that's going to be important.
Okay. She's a graphic designer by trade, so she...
College got graphic design? Okay.
Yep. Well, we met at Clemson. She's a sorority sister. And so trained graphic design.
What year? What year? It might be important, might not.
2004.
2004. Clemson, graphic design.
Immediately went to work for FedEx Kinko's.
Okay.
And in their design department. And worked there for several years, helping companies, design logos, come up with promotion materials.
Expand everything you can here about that.
Okay. So she would, anything from signage that businesses would need, she would design that and implement it to, like I said, doing a whole branding portfolios. She would come up with color schemes, logos, letterhead, all of that.
Okay, that's good. That shows us that she did all the stuff by hand before.
Yes.
The hard way, learning the ropes.
Yes.
Okay.
Then she morphed into when she went to work at a different organization. She was hired to do more so the website design, as well as they had a newsletter, they needed branding, they wanted to re-image everything, and so in that job she started more so like the website designs and getting more into she wasn't really social media at that point. She wasn't social media.
What was that job? Was what?
She was at St. Michael's.
St. Michael's is
Church.
a church. Okay.
Yep. But St. Michael's has multiple different congregations
Mm-hmm.
that
So
they're
it's
the
a mega
parent
church?
church of. Yeah. But the way the Episcopal Church was at that point, the parent church was responsible for all communication of all
Gotcha.
congregations.
Okay.
So, so she designed websites. She did newsletters. She was constantly doing, event promotions.
Mhm.
Again, banners, letterhead, email insignias. When they planted a church in North Charleston and planted another one in, I think, Asheville, she was, designing logos. Again, pretty much by hand,
Mhm.
everything.
Yep.
And the
So she put her college experience, all that she paid attention to in college, to work, right?
100%.
Okay,
Yes.
gotcha. Okay.
All right. Then
If you get anything close to approximating a quote, tell me that as well. If
Oh,
she
okay.
says, like, if she said this, quote, or whatever it is, unquote, like, so it doesn't have to be perfect, it can,
Okay.
but to help me with the process here.
Okay.
Okay.
After that, she was hired by the Catholic diocese.
Okay.
So again, very large organization.
Mhm.
And this is where she started getting into
Of what, of South Carolina,
of,
or?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure how that is broken up.
Okay, that's fine.
Her office was
But her
here in
talent was
Charleston.
recognized,
Yes.
right? Okay.
And she started building out all the social media platforms.
So she is Episcopal, but she got hired away by the Catholics.
She is Anglican.
She's Anglican is,
Now.
yeah, right.
Yes.
Episcopal is a branch that went all LGBTQ,
Yeah.
and Anglican stayed, and so,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
Was that part of the decision?
To go to the Catholic diocese? No.
Okay.
No, it was a much larger job and better pay
Okay.
with really good hours.
Okay.
So, and part of her package was that her children could go to private school
Oh, well, there you go.
for
Okay.
almost free.
Can't really argue with that. I
Yes. Yeah. So, so she went there. She started doing building out social media platforms,
Mm-hmm.
not only for the diocese at whole, but also for individual congregations, churches. Let's see.
So now she's getting into social media for the first time. She did
Mhm.
this, then she did that, then she's doing the third thing.
Yes.
Okay.
At this point, she had several people working under her, so she was still overseeing, the website design, all like the promotional material that churches would still need.
Mm-hmm.
She was still definitely doing all the aspects that she had done previously, but St. Michael's, she had 2 people underneath her. When she went to the Catholic diocese, she had more like, I think like 6 or 7 underneath her. And then she started having a lot of small business owners come to her and say, hey, we know that you're really good with this. Could you help us out? So she did it on the side for a while.
Do you know what the first one was? Or is that not something that you're aware of?
I don't know.
Or one of the major ones was?
I know who one of the major ones is now, but I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. You don't have to know that.
Okay.
Just trying to get the facts so that I can kind of build out the case.
Yeah. So people started coming to her because they saw what a great job she was doing with their congregations, and so I picked up a couple people on the side. They started telling people that they associated with, and she needed a schedule change, and so she said, you know what, I think I could probably do this on my own. I'd have a little bit more flexibility, but I'd also this could be a really profitable business. So she decided to do that.
So how long did she have it as a side gig?
Oh, probably 4 to 5 years as a little side gig.
Okay. Side hustle.
Yeah. And she probably never took on more than 1 to 2 clients at a time.
Do you think she was thinking of it as something that I could grow into, or did it take
No.
a while before she was just like, huh?
It took a while.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, she was like, wait a minute. I could really do this.
Yeah.
So she did. She started it. She launched it, and this summer, we had, Gilligan's Restaurant, which has 7 locations.
Okay, stop. She started it when? 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Okay, so when in 3 years ago?
That would have been March of 22.
Okay. So just coming out of COVID.
Yes.
Yeah, because February is, I mark this by the invasion of Ukraine, which weeks after, like 2 weeks after, Joe Biden dropped all the mask restrictions. Weirdly. Yeah. That's how I remember when COVID kind of ended.
Okay.
For all intents and purposes. It's just an easy way to
Yeah.
mentally get there. Okay, so just a month after COVID restrictions really fell off. Okay.
So she launched it that March.
Did COVID kind of keep her from doing that, or was she? No. Okay.
She was in the office every day through that.
Okay.
But when she launched it, she had 3 people. One was a real estate agent. One was doing home organizing for high-end clients on Kiowa and Sullivan's Island, and one was a local journalist that had hired her out. So those were her first 3 clients. Within the first 3 months, she had acquired several more.
And Gilligan's has how many locations?
7.
7 locations. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what kind of food is it?
Seafood.
Just seafood. Okay, that's the shrimp thing you were talking about. Okay, gotcha.
So this summer, she hired me as a consultant to work on her.
Stop! You're going too fast.
Oh,
so, so like Gilligan's. Tell me about what is she doing for Gilligan's?
Okay. Gilligan's she did not acquire until this past year.
Okay.
So she started picking up smaller clients. They started getting bigger. And her network started growing. Gilligan's she picked up this year. There's 7 locations. She is doing social media.
That's gonna not work. It's been loud.
She does social media on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for all 7 locations.
Okay.
She manages the parent company website, as well as they have an event rental, the Island Porch. But then she also has websites for each of the locations.
Okay.
Keeps up with, does all the events, promotion. They already had a logo, but she does website management, social media management. She meets with the owner once a month now for marketing strategy overview. And I feel like I'm missing something. We would do analytics on it to see which keywords were most popular in the areas. But that would help build out the content that she was producing for social media.
Okay. And so ChatGPT is introduced when?
ChatGPT is introduced in November 2023.
Okay, so 1 year in, November, well, a year and a half in, November of 2023. I remember when that happened too, because I marked it by when my daughter's car we bought, which we then sold to her. I was in the signing the paperwork, waiting for it when I read an article about ChatGPT, and I'll download that and see what it's.
What is this about?
Wasn't all that excited. I just asked the questions, but I could only remember 2 years back at any rate.
Yeah.
Okay, so a year and a half in, she realizes that. Then what happens?
Okay, so she probably didn't start, AI probably didn't come onto the scene for her until, I would say closer to May, June of 2024.
Okay, so she's 2 years into her business.
Yep.
And AI's been on the scene. ChatGPT's on the scene for 6 months.
Yeah. And she starts realizing that for content building, hey, this is working pretty good.
Is this the first one that she realized was like, wow, this can write stuff?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. At that point, though, a human was still doing a lot better than what ChatGPT was. They were still having to clean it up a lot and stuff. But she really started jumping into it then. She started one of the design software programs that she has had I don't know if it was Adobe or something, but she had an AI component to that. So she started kind of playing around with how it could produce logos and just visuals.
Graphic design programs.
Yeah. And she said that it was, shortening what she was doing on the back end design wise.
So now a light bulb goes off, right? Is that how she was going to describe it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
She has a light bulb moment and goes, huh, what else can it do? Is that fair?
Exactly,
Okay.
yes. At this point, she had 4 people working for her under contract positions, one of them being a content writer.
So who's the guy that they're thinking about potentially he's going to lose it?
Rachel.
Rachel, the girl. Okay. So I also am going to need you to expand out all about Rachel and that after we get done
Okay.
with stuff, because it'll be important, just trust me. Okay, let's keep going.
But also, it's not just one person.
Okay.
It's, so it was Rachel. It's also Anna, which was the project manager, kind of overseeing everything. Because with the efficiency of AI, and then she acquired the software SEMrush.
Okay.
A lot of what Anna's job was now automated.
Yeah.
So.
Because it was doing the social media kind of stuff?
It put together all the calendars that we needed. People would just go in and be like, okay, this task is complete. SEMrush would track all of that so that Anna didn't have to do
project manager
anymore.
to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
And SEMrush would send you notifications of, hey, you're approaching your deadline for this piece. Make sure that it's uploaded. And if you miss the deadline, it really bombarded you.
Okay.
So again, those were
Is
communication
it
pieces.
SIMRUSH?
It's SEM.
SEMRUSH? Okay. Okay, so keep processing along here. So she realizes, wow, for graphics, this is what you find that what software that was doing the graphics. Do you remember?
I can't remember if it was Adobe Photoshop or it was something that she had used for years, and they came out with an AI component.
Okay.
And she started playing around with it. She was like, "Hey, this isn't too bad."
Yeah.
And as she started kind of navigating to it more, she also started following a couple people on TikTok. That were using AI capabilities in the same realm industry, and so she started, realizing that she could do images and things like that for social media content, and that decreased her travel time because she was going to like Gilligan's locations, photo shoots, right? And she was doing that. Well, now she could generate. Hey, I've used this picture before, but now I want you to generate a plate of fried shrimp in front of it. And so,
wow, that's awesome.
So that cut down, travel time, just photo shoot time, all of that. She doesn't do that all the time, but it can definitely, it has helped a great deal. All that to say, so she had 4 people at that point. Like I said, this past year, she had 2 different AI platforms. So SEMrush she still had, and then Go High Level was another one.
Okay. And Go High Level does what?
Go High Level helps with an analytics standpoint. It digs in and finds like keywords that are popular in that target market. You can run your customers through it. And it'll come up with who it feels like your biggest competitors are, what kind of things that they've had happen in the past month.
For what? For Google ads or what? Are we talking about?
I think it's mainly from Google Analytics and Google Ads.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure all the different data sources it would come from. But it did go in line because I would run that and then look at Google Analytics, and for the most part it matched up. So I have to think that it was one of the sources I was using. But she realized that, it cut down on time, it cut down on money.
Yep.
She was able to take on more clients.
Now, the software is expensive.
The software's expensive, and she's still in the startup phase.
And it's multiple software is expensive, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And she was trying to see like the different benefits.
That's one of the things that we want to find is how much SEMrush costs, how much this costs, how much that costs.
Okay.
To just kind of add something to it.
Okay.
May not mean anything, but it may also mean something.
Yeah.
So.
I want to say one of them was like, well, I don't remember exactly, so I don't want to misquote. they seem to be pretty pricey. But yes, so when I came on this summer, she had noticed the capabilities of all this, but she didn't really, analytics was never her thing.
Mhm.
And she also knew that, that I had been doing a lot with AI. So she was excited about it. She showed me some of the things that she had been doing and asked if I could come along and, see if there's anything that she should be doing that she's not.
Yeah, how do you optimize, right?
Right.
Yeah, sure.
And then also just making sure that, that everything was being processed correctly in the data.
Okay. So
So-
this was like social media campaigns and things along those lines. It was not vibe coding, it was not creating content flows, except for whatever social media would do,
Mhm. Right.
right? Okay.
We did create some website content, but that's more in
Okay.
the social media realm than it would be.
Okay.
So at this point, you know, she has several major clients, Palmetto Craftsman.
Several meaning how many? Several meaning 6 or 12 or 20?
She probably had closer to 20 to 22 overall clients.
Okay.
I worked on 3,
Okay.
which were 3 of the top clients that she had. So my 3 accounts that I was over was Get Steamed, which is a carpet cleaning company, Palmetto Craftsman, and then Gilligan's.
It's also a good name for a marital therapist.
Get Steamed.
Just saying. Okay. So so you're working on these, and what else transpires here as far as she's coming to be aware that maybe I can't actually, maybe I need to let people go, or what? How do we get to this place?
So about a month into me working for her, and
Oh, so you're the problem. You're the cause of this.
yeah,
So people's livelihoods are because of you.
pretty
Failing.
much.
Yeah. Okay.
So about a month into this, she comes to me and she says, "Hey, from the things that you've seen and the things that that you're doing, and what do you think as far as AI just kind of taking this over?"
Okay.
And
What time frame is this?
this, I started working for her in May
This is
25.
June.
Yep, so this was June. And I showed her some of the discrepancies that I was still finding, and said that, you know, you definitely still need a person going through it, but that once I had everything set up, that it was taking me 30 minutes to comb through instead of 3 hours, which it took to set up. And I said, you know, I have it set up and running for you now to where 2 of those people could essentially be one person. They could overlook at this, get AI to do this aspect of their job while they still maintained another part. So Rachel was also working part-time, and she was over 8 accounts.
Okay.
And doing the content, social media writing for Facebook, Instagram, and then TikTok. The content a little bit. She wasn't doing the reels, and so Vicki had a photographer that was responsible for doing the videography and the reels and things of that essence. But
Who is now very nervous.
right, because AI started being able to
Do movies and yeah.
right, a lot of her photography at least. And so what they started doing is intersplicing it. So they would use some AI generated images with other real ones that she would take. So she said, you know, employees are expensive, and I need to think of whether or not I'm going to continue having this many employees on the payroll each month, or am I going to farm more of this out to AI?
Can we find out how much employees actually cost for the case study?
Okay, I need to.
Well, I would think it would be helpful
Okay.
to, you know, just, it would be good to know, hey, this one costs $35,000, this one costs $29,000, this one costs $44,000. whatever it is, like, it's not necessary, but it would make it stronger.
Okay.
And in order to say, look, we're paying we're paying 5,000 for the package, we're paying 44,000 to the person,
Yeah.
now, there are other considerations, but this will be helpful if we can do that. And we also need to know from her if she wants us to use her name and the business name, or not use her name and mask it with, Vicky as Barbara and the business is So Creative or whatever.
Okay. I'll ask her that.
So,
Okay.
okay, keep going.
So yeah, in June we have a conversation. I tell her some of the things that, some of the discrepancies I've found that I think, somebody could easily oversee and look at moving forward. A couple ways to check different things. And as far as content goes, AI was missing on some of like the trends. Like there's a burger trend that came out in June that restaurants were competing to see if you could get your mouth around their entire burger. And so
I missed that one too.
we kind of jumped on that trend with Gilligan's and their crab cake sandwich.
Okay.
And so that was something that Rachel picked up on, though, that AI had totally missed. And it ended up amassing one of our top views for that month. And so I told her that, especially since she was a contract employee, that she could really cut down on the hours if she could still use Rachel and concentrate more so on things like that, but then use AI for actually writing out and the planning of it. Because that was another.
Yeah, you're cold.
I was also working myself out of a job.
Yeah.
So, because I set it all up and then I said, all right, now somebody else, I'll show them how to work it. That somebody else can step in here and just kind of overview it, and you don't have to pay them much because 30 minutes each account and they should be good to go. So I was working myself out of a job as well as others.
Okay. What else? Keep working?
So, well, in July, actually, so we had that conversation in June. July, her bookkeeper comes to her and says, we got a cash flow issue because the cost of the software and the amount of contract employees that she had at that point. So that we had another conversation in July after she met with her and said, okay, I've definitely got to scale back on some people. And that's when the project manager came into play. And we realized the software can actually do a lot of what she was doing for her job anyways.
Okay.
So she increased what the software was doing and decreased Anna's position at that point. And then
Vicky increased what the software was doing and decreased.
She increased the usage. Like she already was paying for the capabilities, but she wasn't using it fully at that point. Right.
Okay. So at this point, we have I think the hook, unless you want to tell me something else, the hook of like, well, what do we do? Because we got to do something, and we either keep the software or keep the person, but the software seems to be doing a lot, and the person's expensive. Okay, that where we are?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else around that helps us make it more hooky? So, for example,
for her, it was an emotional decision.
That's where I'm going. That's
Okay.
exactly where I'm going. Yeah.
For her, it was an emotional decision because Anna was her cousin.
Awesome.
And so she was like, she depends on this job. She lives in Puerto Rico. She's cheaper labor than she.
Is she at a distance working?
Yes.
She's living there at a distance, outsourced. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which also meant though that she was cheaper than labor here.
Okay.
But she didn't really need her anymore.
Okay. That's great. I'm glad that that's part of the package that helps us with, like, that's kind of makes it tough. Yeah. Okay.
She lost so much sleep over this. It was hard.
Okay. What else? Okay. Tell me about Anna and her path to this. So she was with her from early on in the new business?
No, so Anna came on about 2 years ago.
Okay, well, that's, I mean, 2/3 of the way through.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
She came on about 2 years ago because the job she worked at in Puerto Rico, I don't know if the business closed or they downsized, but she lost her job. And so it was right about the same time that Vicky was starting to pick up more clients, and she said, "Oh, you've done this in the past. Come be my project manager." And so
Good employee by all other means.
Yeah.
Was she in favor of AI and pushing on that?
I don't think she was against it. She's a little older,
Okay.
so she was not used to it, and
Okay.
definitely not.
Just had a thought. It'd be interesting if we could do a two-part case, or not two-part, but you give the case telling Vicky's story to half the class, while you give the case of Anna's story from the other half of the class.
Oh, that would be
They're
good.
reading basically the same kind of fact set. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's harder to write, but it also is more likely to earn one of those.
Okay.
So, so now we have to go through this and think about how when she comes onto the scene. So I can use much of the same fact set about Vicky up till the point where Anna loses her job, and Vicky calls her. So what do you know about that? And move forward from Anna's perspective as much as possible.
Okay, so Anna loses her job, goes to work for Vicky. Vicky's like, "Hey, I need somebody. Come on." She's able to do the whole project management piece remotely.
Does she have like a PMP or something, or
She doesn't have a PMP, but she was an office manager before, and so
tell me more about her background to whatever degree you can here.
Ooh, I don't know a lot
Okay,
about it.
that's fine.
Sorry. I had very minimal interactions
That's
with
fine.
her. She would come to all of Vicky's meetings via Zoom, and she would record notes and everything, which we ended up getting Otter AI to do.
That's an awesome nuance, though, isn't it?
And so she would do that, and then she would, not only transcribe everything, but then she'd keep up with the project calendar, and she would keep up with the employees. She'd keep up with the accounts.
So is she like number 2 in the organization then?
Number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3, yeah.
Okay, who's between her and?
The website designer.
Okay. And he was there from the beginning?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
His name is?
Her name.
Her name.
I'll have to get back to you on that.
Okay.
I never interacted with her.
We'll just call her Janelle in the meantime,
Okay.
just for the sake of having a name.
Janelle kind of started the company with Vicky.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's Vicky's company. She's the proprietor.
But Janelle was there from the inception.
Yes.
Why isn't Janelle getting fired instead of it's just different skill set?
Well, I think that one's another conversation that will probably be happening soon. But this is Janelle's bread and butter.
Bread and butter meaning her livelihood, or
Yeah,
meaning that's
this
what
is-
she does well?
No, this is her sole job, and
But it was for Anna too.
well, that's true. But Anna's married, and so there was a second income in the family. Janelle, there's not. So Janelle is an immigrant whose husband brought her over from Turkey, and he was also Turkish. Brought her here. They got married. It wasn't citizenship, but he was a diplomat, and so she was awarded something that's a little bit more than a green card, but less than citizenship.
Okay.
She's not allowed to leave though now.
Okay.
Because she had to forego her whatever citizenship to come here because of his diplomat status. Anyway.
He is an American, or he is a?
He is a Turkish citizen with diplomat.
And she diplomatic immunity, and
Yes.
she is Turkish as well. So
Yes, but she did not have the same immunity that he did.
Okay.
So he brings her here. They get married. They have 2 kids. And he decides that he no longer wants to be married to her, is moving back to Turkey, but she's not allowed to leave the United States. But now she has very limited skill set. She's been a website designer. 2 kids living on James Island, and is trying to restart life.
Mm-hmm.
So, from Vicky's perspective,
This is weirdly good for the story. I mean, for trying to, because now, if you're Anna, well, or if you're Vicky, well, Anna's got to go. We can't do this to her. I mean, it's going to be worse for her than it is for, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you can kind of weigh those things.
So Janelle was not a family member, but had a harder situation of if she were to lose the
So if you're looking
unemployment.
through organizational justice lenses, you're trying to figure out which kind of procedural or
Right.
distributive or whatever, right?
Anna, the third person in the hierarchy, I guess, is a cousin that lives in Puerto Rico and has a husband with a good job. So, yeah,
Okay.
that definitely played into the decisions of 2.
Okay. And so tell me about the timeline here from getting wind of the AI, starts dabbling with AI, and Janelle's in on it, and Anna's okay with it, and starting to use. Well, like, tell me about how that's working.
So, like when I first came on in May, Anna was still coming to all the meetings, and we would take Otter out and use it.
Mm-hmm.
And then what Anna would do would go back and if it needed cleaning up or if it was something that it missed, and then she'd send it out to us or she would upload it.
Okay.
And
Take me back to when Vicky starts really using it, and then work your way through that timeline from Anna's perspective to the degree that you can.
Ooh, okay.
So about a year in to AI, Vicky starts playing with this thing.
Yeah, so Anna comes on, I guess she would have come on in 24, and then probably, because Vicky had just started using it right as I came on in May, so a year into her employment, one of the main things that she was doing, which was taking notes at the client meetings and whatnot, gets replaced by AI. And then she's just kind of cleaning it up versus transcribing and taking it. They already had SEMrush at that point.
They had SEMrush before she came on?
No, they had SEMrush before Otter.
No.
Note-taking.
So she came on, then they had Otter, then they added SEMrush. Do you understand what I'm saying here?
Yes.
Trying to get that kind of timeline.
I don't know that.
Okay, well
I'm gonna have
let's
to find that out.
let's try to work that out, whatever we can. SEMrush, and that replaces some more of what she does?
Yes.
Okay. What else is starting to be replaced? I'm looking for a few things here because that makes it like
So her note-taking.
when we get to the hook for her case, like, I think something may happen here, right?
So SEMrush was the project manager type stuff that would send notifications and do that aspect of her job. Otter was taking.
Made my job so easy.
Yeah. But now I'm not needed.
Yeah.
So her job kept morphing a little bit.
Good.
Until in August, as I was kind of exiting, that's when Vicky was like, for the past month, since I met with my bookkeeper, I've realized that she's just sending an email that SEMrush has already sent. And she's just like, hey, don't forget this is due. And she's like, but SEMrush was 2 days ahead of her. Or, almost every aspect of her job.
So what is she
I know.
actually doing?
Well, that's where Vicky was.
Okay.
She was still doing the parts that she had been hired to do.
Okay, so where is Anna then? Well, Anna is just doing it going, hey, my job's getting easier.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think what did she actually wind up doing?
So she downsized her hours. She kept her on.
Okay.
She downsized her hours, and the last that we talked about it, Anna was doing more so, I wouldn't call it project management, but she was helping out more so with the intake of new clients.
Okay.
So. she was setting up like proposals and things like that. So Vicki would bring her like from the meetings the Otter AI transcribe, and she would say, okay, I need you to work up a proposal. This is what they're wanting. This is kind of what we discussed, and she would put that together.
Okay, so there was some kind of transition here, not just a release.
Yes.
Okay, but it's still leaving you with a what are you doing? The easy business answer is
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So for the record, that was off with her head, right? I mean, there she goes. And for the record, Emery caused this. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What else about Anna, or from Anna's perspective, is she, from what you can detect, seeing this coming, or is she just blissfully unaware until like just before it's happening?
I think she was unaware, at least until July. And in July, I know she started asking questions of,
Good.
What is my job going to be?
And when did they get to the decision making time?
Early August.
Early August. Okay.
Yeah, because it was as I was starting to make my exit for the summer, and so yeah, she started asking questions, but she didn't seem unhappy or rattled by it.
So she was just assuming, sure, I'll still be here.
I'll still be here.
I mean, after all,
I'm family.
See you Thanksgiving, right? So.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And she was still appearing at on Zoom at a lot of the client meetings and things like that. She wasn't taking notes like she had been before, but she was still kind of a face.
Part of the discussion and
part of the
contributing.
discussion. Yep. So I don't know that she saw the hours being cut back as much as they were. I don't know that she saw that coming.
Yeah. Okay. And it seems like project management stuff is really the dispensable part, not the website stuff that Janelle does.
Yes.
So if Janelle was removed, they couldn't easily replace her.
Yeah, she does.
Or not as easily.
Not as easily. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What else are we missing? Because that's a lot. I think so we can at least do the normal case, and we might very well be able to do a two-part where you give this side one and this side the other.
I have to find out more about Anna's story.
Well, maybe we can do that as well and find that.
Yeah, I can definitely call Vicki and ask.
Because that would be freaking cool to read. The students reading this and then arguing from Anna's perspective, like, well, that's not fair because Anna didn't know that whatever, and you're doing this to her, and like just right, and well, it's a business decision.
I was about to say.
But if you read Anna's case and it's done right, and somebody says it's a business decision, you're gonna be like, what is wrong with you? So.
True. And I will say, like, a lot of this came about organically of Vicki just kind of like playing around with things and seeing the capabilities of it, and watching the TikTok people talking about it. She'd be like, oh, that's really cool. Yeah, let's play around with that.
So when she's watching TikTok, she's watching what? People who have been playing with AI, doing
She watches
stuff?
Marketers, and she would send me several of them too. She would send me marketers that were showing how these platforms had increased their efficiency. And so,
can you send me any of those so I can get a sense of what it is?
Yeah.
You don't have to do it right now.
Okay.
Okay. What are we missing, if anything? I mean, this gets us 90% of the way there. I mean, there's some things to go back to.
She would also watch TikTok to find like things that we could tell the clients about, like the efficiency of using AI, because we did have some client pushback whenever she would mention, hey, and by the way, we're starting to use AI applications, and are you okay with some of your photos being AI generated and things like that going out on social media? We did have some pushback, especially from Gilligan's, because they wanted everything to be.
Initially, I would imagine it's a lot worse than it's kind of like online degrees.
Yeah.
Now it's like, yeah, of course they're going to get online. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Right. But
But at first.
Late 90s, that wasn't so cool.
Yeah, true.
So, okay.
Yes. So there's a lot of that conversation, navigating it. But so she would send me TikToks about, hey, this is how we should spin it, or hey, what do you think about crafting the conversation in this way?
Okay. Any other things that you're thinking that might be helpful? I don't know if it's going to be, but we talked about this, or they talked about that, whatever it is.
I don't think so. I think the only other thing I would say is I think it kind of surprised Vicky too.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that's good
So
insight.
She wasn't
Like gunning
didn't-
for this, but
No.
it just came up, and they're like, okay, well, you're having an overrun here. We got to do something.
right. Yeah, it was more of like, oh wait, now
Okay.
I figured out a lot of the capabilities of something I'm already paying for, and maybe I don't need all the people
Yeah.
that I have.
So I think the hook is: do we go back to the old ways, or let someone go? And if we let someone go, is it Anna or Janelle? And we're like framing it in a way that it's an either or, when there could be other options, which we know what the other option is.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to think what the hook would be for Anna. The hook would be more like I think something bad's about to happen to my job. I mean, I don't know, but I have this uneasy feeling like this is too good to be true.
Yeah. Which she probably did have.
Yeah. Well, she may very well have. Okay, so that's good. I think we captured what we need to capture here. So I'm going to hit stop, and if